Hi Suhas, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. What about you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. So
Yes,
can you tell us something about yourself?
yes, sir. My name is Swahas Maruti Ghodke, and I am from Pune, Maharashtra. I have completed my diploma in 2016. Currently, I am working as a software test engineer from 2000 January 2019 in TCS. As a software test engineer, I am responsible for some preparation document, just like traceability matrix, test summary report, and defect report, rising a defect, and also responsible for the test case preparation, test case scenario designing, and rise defect also. Yes, sir. And I have 3.4 years of experience in manual testing and as well as database testing. Whole year of experience I work on agile methodology, and we use for management tool, which is a Jira. And my project name is Equity Trade System, and there is a banking domain. That's it.
Okay, that's
Yes,
great. Wonderful. So you are preparing traceability matrix.
yes, sir.
So what do you mean by traceability matrix?
Traceability matrix means, sir, we cover the requirement, or we mapping the requirement ID and our test cases, because we know the what coverage of test cases we done in our testing.
Okay.
That's it.
What is the significance of traceability matrix? What would happen if we don't create a traceability matrix?
Significance means template.
No, significance means what is the importance of having traceability matrix? What would happen
Yes,
if we don't? Yeah.
we want to know. Actually, we want to know how many test cases we covered in testing. It's a first importance of traceability matrix. Because suppose we have much more requirements and we write a particular test cases on their requirements, but we actually we don't know how many requirements we complete in writing test cases. That's why we using a traceability matrix, and we cover the all test cases and we cover the all requirement in traceability matrix. Yes, sir.
Now, when you were telling like I am preparing some documents like test summary reports, so what do you mean by test summary report?
Test summary reports means there is a exit and exit criteria.
Hmm.
In this document, we how exit we prepare release note, how which testing we perform on this software, and how much time we acquire performing testing. That's it. All strategies which strategies we follow. That's way.
Which are the various things that you will include in your defect reports?
Defect reports, we include the defect ID, which requirement we found these defects, means requirement ID, test case ID, which test case we use for finding this defect, and who found the defects, date, steps, different steps, prerequisites. Also, and priority of defect, severity of defect.
Correct.
That's it. Comment and result, etc.
Mhm. So in your resume,
Yes.
you have it's mentioned like you are performing database testing as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
MySQL, in MySQL.
yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. MySQL database, we perform in performing testing. We retrieve the data from MySQL using different types of commands.
So
Yes,
what
sir.
do you mean by DCL commands, and can you explain the types of commands used by DCL?
Data control language.
Yeah, correct.
Uh, there we control the data of which we enter in database.
Okay. And can you tell me the name of, I mean, the two types of DCL commands?
DCL commands. Actually, we perform the code operation normally, so that's why I have no detail about it.
No issues. So
Yes.
there are basically two types of DCL commands you will have. One is the
Okay.
grant, the command. This command particularly allows users to access privilege to database, and one is revoke.
Okay.
You can stop,
Revoke and grant.
revoke it.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Now, what do you mean by DML?
Data manipulation. We manipulate the data in database. There's some delete update. That's it. Delete, update, drop, truncate, alter, views.
Right. So apart from that,
Yes.
select, insert, delete, update. These are all the facilities you
Data
get
management.
in the DML. Okay.
DML, yeah.
Have you worked on Postgres?
Post list.
Yeah, Postgres SQL.
No, sir. No, no. I'm not working on that. What is the post list? I hear first time this.
Yeah, Postgres is nothing but actually it is one of the famous database that is used in various applications, right? Uh,
Oh,
similar to SQL, Oracle, right?
yeah, yeah. My
MySQL.
SQL server, like,
Yeah, like
yes,
that
yes,
we
got
have
it. Is
Postgres,
a different RDMS. RDMS or
DBMS. Yeah, DBMS actually.
DBMS.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Okay. So can you tell me few of the high level test scenarios? Let's say if we have to perform testing of an e-commerce website with
Yeah,
respect
sir.
to database, like, so how will you perform database testing of such e-commerce website? What all things you will validate?
Suppose in database we scenarios or uh, in DB with the help of e-commerce website, we use the number of customers data available in database or different types of table, just like a customer name, customer address, customer contact number, customer email. We verify the all tables and all we verify the all data from database. Yes.
So all customers data you will verify.
Yeah, customer data or partners data. Suppose our business model is C2C, customer to customer, or suppose business model is B2C, then we also verify the business which partners we have in our e-commerce website. We also test their data in database or product data also.
Okay. Now, after entering the data in the front end application, let's say from the UI you have entered some data, right?
Yeah.
So how would you test whether a database is updated or not?
Suppose we enter the login credentials, yeah, register information in your UI. Okay, then we check the our register information coming in the database.
Hmm.
That's it.
Sorry. So when you have entered something in the UI, you are going into the database
Yeah.
and you are looking into that particular table.
Yes, yeah. We looking the particular table which enter information we enter in UI, then all information come in the database, just like a register information or mobile email address which we enter in UI.
Okay. Is it possible to perform negative testing in database testing? I mean, negative testing in with respect to database?
Uh, Negative testing. Negative means invalid credentials.
Yeah, I mean, you
Sometimes.
can, yeah,
Hmm.
you can manipulate the data and then you can see on the UI how it is getting reflected. One kind of.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's possible, maybe.
Right. So,
Hmm.
okay, so you mean to say it is possible, right?
Yes.
Fine. What is data validity testing?
Data validity.
Yeah, there is a difference between data validity testing and data integrity testing. So, what is the difference between these two?
Data validity testing.
Hmm.
I don't know, sir, actually.
Okay, and what about data integrity testing?
Integrity, there is a integrate function also in database. Mm, no, sir. Sorry.
Okay, no issues. So, this will be an open question for the people who are watching this video.
Okay.
What is the difference between data validity testing and data integrity testing? So let me see your CV. Okay, what is the difference between test scenario and a test case?
Test scenarios means, sir, which area we tested. Suppose in software application, different types of area we tested in software application, and test cases means how to derive we test in this particular area. Suppose we have login functionality, there is our test scenario. Then we have performal functionality. There is some document which is test case. It is step-by-step procedure to perform how to perform the test case or how to perform the test in test case.
So in your
Yes, sir.
CV, you have mentioned you have a good experience in analyzing requirements. So can you give me an example, maybe in your career, in your current project or in your previous project, you would have analyzed some requirement or like, yeah, you would have given some input
Okay.
to the business analyst or
Hmm.
PO, PMs. Yeah.
Suppose we have a requirement from client or stakeholder. We check the requirement, means which requirement give by the stakeholders. Then we analyze on this requirement. How we then some we give a criteria of complexity of requirement and easiness of requirement. That's how we analyze the all requirements.
So
Or
any
we
example you would like to share?
example means,
Any part of
suppose
acceptance criteria or any part of story that you analyzed and then they had to reanalyze, like, okay, fine, this tester has come with a valid list of points and now they will reanalyze that particular story, that particular scenario, like that.
suppose we customer have a requirement regarding their UI, uh, UI screen. Then
Hmm.
we discuss with the UI screen how look like our UI screen and how our functionality work in UI screen.
Okay.
They there we analyze the requirement, and then we analyze the how UI screen is work or how functionality on UI screen is works.
Can you give me of one particular test scenario or a test case in which you have done globalization testing, localization testing?
Yeah, globalization and localization testing. We suppose scenario means in globalization testing we perform our suppose software application work in a worldwide. Then we test the scenario. The test scenario is a currency, different languages, different culture, and different environment which is there. And localization means particular graphical, what we say, particular graphical position. We suppose we have in Maharashtra. Okay, then we test the only Marathi language and their environment and then culture or
Mhm.
their yes, globalization. In the globalization we test the currency, different currency and language.
Correct.
Yeah.
So can you give me any example in your career or in your project so far where you would have, performed globalization, localization testing?
Yeah, in my career, equity trade system is my project. Those where there we uh, exchange of securities with the money. Then we suppose we have some stake, some stock. What we say, traders have a different types of currency, just like they have a euro, pound, and dollar or Indian rupees. They we convert to some securities. Then we test the currency, and then we test the language. Different region here, they will become. They was coming different regions, so we test the language also and. Uh, what we say, dollar and euro pound currency also.
Okay. Now, what is the difference between ad hoc testing and exploratory testing?
Ad hoc testing and exploratory testing. Ad hoc testing means we have a no data or no any requirement, then we perform a ad hoc testing on software application. And exploratory testing, we explore the all application. We explore and understand the all application, then we perform the exploratory testing. There is a many chances of sometimes we accept the bug because we might it is a bug, or but it is not a bug, it is also feature, and sometimes we notify features is a bug. It's a drawback of exploratory function. Sometimes we have no proper timing to perform full depth testing, then we perform exploratory testing sometimes.
So can you
Yeah.
give me an example of scenario or a bug that you found via ad hoc testing or you found via exploratory testing?
Ad hoc testing, I have with ad hoc testing means my experience, what we work in previous years in same application, then we perform ad hoc testing also. Though there is a bug, actually no, that no, I not properly said.
What is sprint backlog?
Sprint backlog, we our product owner, we write the sprint backlog. Okay, in sprint backlog, there is a different works or different sprint is there, which we perform by developer and QA team also. Or
Yeah, but
yes, sir.
what do the team members do? What is the roles and responsibilities of the team members when
Yeah,
you know with respect to sprint backlog? What generally happens in sprint backlog?
sprint backlogs, there is a collection of user stories, epics, and uh,
Okay. So what is the difference between sprint backlog and product backlog?
okay, I got it. In product backlog, there is also different types of sprint. Means number of sprint in product backlog, and in a sprint backlog there is a how work or which work we do in a sprint backlog, in a sprint, single sprint. Yeah, there is a assigned to different tester and assigned to different developers. And product backlog, we are the different types of sprint which we work in whole project.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's say if I tell you a product backlog is a subset of sprint backlog, is that true?
No, sir.
Why so?
Uh, Actually, in the product backlog coming a sprint backlog.
Okay, correct. So you mean to say product backlog is a superset of sprint backlog.
Yes, sir.
The sprint backlog comes from the product backlog, right? But it can contain only the product backlog items that can be completed during each agile sprint. Okay. Now,
Okay, sir.
what is release backlog?
Release backlog. Suppose at the end of project we enter some exit criteria to in release backlog. Am I right, sir?
Sorry, and exit criteria you were mentioning.
In an exit criteria we enter in release backlog. How steps we perform in release in end of the our project.
Okay. No, no. Actually, release backlog is the list of, or you would say, it contains the features that need to be implemented for a particular release. So that is release backlog.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, sir.
Right. So you have been doing testing in investment banking,
Investment banking.
investment banking
Yes.
domain. Sounds good. So can you tell me high level test scenarios? How will you test a particular software or application within domain of investment banking? High level
Okay.
scenarios. Yeah.
Yeah. High level scenario means actually opening demat account. Hello, sir.
Hello. Yes, yes, it's audible. Yeah.
Opening demat account is the first scenario. Then we select the our trade type. Means we want to buy or sell our. Suppose we have to buy securities or stock, or suppose some customers they want to sell securities from their side. Then we create a buy sell account or buy select a trade type. Then we select a order type. There are the different order types which we suppose we want to buy. Then we verify the sellers are available or not. Suppose we have to sell, then we verify the buyers are available or not. Okay, that's way. And sometimes we add money. Add money, there is a different scenario. Add money in our account or in add money in our software, look like that, or withdraw money from our software application.
Correct. Which are the other test scenarios that you will test in investment banking?
Other means login functionality, register functionality, then
Yeah, that is
buy
fine.
sell trade what.
Login functionality, register, then forward password, change password. This is fine. But within the application, within the software, what all things you will test?
That's selecting order type, selecting trade type. Okay, which means we want to buy or we want to sell, or selecting order type, which order type you want. Okay, then there is a watch list. How our market is going on now, how types of shares are going on now. There is a screen, then we test the EY also. Executing this order, your order is executing or not. Yeah.
So you can test the various permutations and combinations with respect to permissions. Let's say if you
Yeah,
are a broker, if someone is a dealer, so or someone is
yes
an
sir.
individual or investor, so how would the application behave with respect to them? What would be the flow of the
Oh,
application? There would be certain pages that they would be able to access certain options, certain features that would be limited to them, right?
yeah.
Right. Then as you are mentioning buying
Yes,
order, selling order, right? So you
yes
are
sir.
verifying the details after buying, after purchasing something, after selling something. What would happen if you change some particular order, right? What would happen if you cancel that particular order, right?
Yes sir.
So then different types of order that we need to test. Let's say an example of market based order is there or limit based.
Market based stop loss order,
Correct.
CNC. Okay.
Then how will
Yes
you
sir.
perform the database testing for an investment banking application?
Database testing, it means open demat account and their information of customer going to the database. All information, just like a customer, which customer, their Gmail ID, and payment options going to in database, account number, etc., or account details going to the database. We test the we verify the account number and with live data.
Fine. So one of the test case can be that you can log into a particular with respect to client user account and cancel some XYZ order, and then you can check the same thing in the database that that particular record should get cancelled.
Yes, 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 yes.
Then let's say if you're
Or
trying,
some or
yeah,
sometimes demat account was be deleted by customer. Then we check in database. There is also deleted in database.
correct.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, Suhas, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Sir, I have multi more questions. Can you put this video in YouTube?
Sorry. Yeah, just a second. Okay. Okay, Suhas, you have any questions for us?
Sir, actually, I gave 3 interviews in my previous interview, but I'm still not now selecting. Not I'm selected in any company. Can you look some roadblocks in my profile or my communication also?
Right. So first of all, communication skills are required. So you need to improve in your communication skills and the confidence level, right? So that confidence is not there actually. Even I feel so. If you know the answers and you are having a knowledge of manual testing, database testing, and all those things, but still confidence level is not there. So maybe you can uh, try giving all these kind of interviews, mock interviews, and then you would be able
Okay,
to know, you will be able to increase your confidence. So those things will come definitely, very sure.
okay, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you,
So
sir. Your work is great, sir. Thank you for all subscribers. Your efforts is also good.
thank you so much, Suhas,
Yeah.
and all the
Yes, sir.
best for your career.
Thank you, sir.